Alright, so I had a comment on the video that I did on the crispy Monacos, and it was basically like how are the Scarpas holding up and the Thors, the crispy Thors. Well, I guess to start, honestly, I haven't wore the crispies a lot. I was going to wear them this year out to Colorado, but I decided just to go with my tried and true. We got two pairs of the Scarpa Kinesis, and I've packed a lot of weight out on them, and I like them a lot. They work for me. Not that these don't, but if you watch that video, the first thing that happened was when we got to the top where we were going to set up camp was got hit with a bunch of sleet and rain and stuff. So the reason I don't like a fully synthetic boot is they saturate immediately. No matter what you treat them with, it just doesn't hold up. And I mean, it might hold up for a couple days, but if you're walking through, especially dewy grass, just kills any kind of waterproofing, with the exception of like beeswax, which you can't put beeswax on these. I've tried Nick Wax, I've tried Granger's, I've tried a lot of stuff. And these synthetic boots just saturate, and then when it gets cold, they freeze, and so on and so forth. So I just kind of resigned myself to where I'll just wear these when it's dry, maybe like early season. We're putting in for pronghorn next year, and I'll probably wear them this winter a little bit where, I'm at home and I can just chuck them by the wood stove and they'll dry out pretty quickly. But not that they're not comfortable, it's just that they don't really fit my needs when I go hunting. And it's too rigid of a boot for me, for everyday wear. My back's pretty jacked, so I can't wear a real rigid boot. Otherwise I feel it in my back, just walking around like gravel pavement, that kind of stuff. And the crispy Monaco, these are the premium, so there's two different ones. These retail for, I think, like $350. They're pretty, or $300, $350, something like, they're pretty expensive. And I've found that even with, I thought maybe that these might hold up a little bit better than the lower tier or the regular Monaco. They didn't. Maybe a little bit better. They didn't blow out from the sole, but the rand really separated pretty badly. They leak pretty much constantly. So if you're walking around in dewy grass or rain, wet grass, your feet are going to get soaked. So I just, they were all right, but it was an exceedingly expensive boot for how long they lasted. I want to say that these made it like 14 months or something like that. And they're expensive, so you got to look at like how much time you're getting out of them for the, the cost. And they just aren't going to fit the bill. So, which brought me to this, this is the Scarpa Guida City Gore-Tex. And I did that video 6 months ago, almost to the day. And these things are unbelievable. And just with the Scarpa insole, it's got like a leather bound insole, and it's not exceedingly thick or anything, but they are flipping comfy. And I've got a fairly normal to narrow foot. I haven't had any leaking issues at all. I think one of the rands is starting to peel. Yeah, so I'm getting a little bit of peeling on the rand right here, but it's pretty minimal. There's not much issue there. The tread, there's not a lot there to begin with. And it's a flexible sole, so you got to take that into consideration. They are very, very comfortable. And I got like a military discount deal on them through Expert Voice, I think, or no, maybe it was Outdoor Pro Link. I can't remember. And I do have a cut right there, but it's not through. They don't leak. I've treated them once with Huber's or Hubbard's. I'm not sure. Hold on. So, of course, I'm wearing them right now. So I treated them once with this, and it's okay. It's supposed to help with like cracking and stuff. And it smells like burnt pine. I don't know, I kind of like it. The other one is Obanoff's. It's very much like a wax deal, which is far more protective. And then I took this when I heated it up, add a little beeswax to it. And then after that, I just started making my own out of the beeswax that I've got from my beehives. But this Hubbard's is the shoe grease is pretty good. I mean, you might want to give it a whack. Mark's Scarpas were cracking, so he was going to try it, and we kind of just lost time and stuff. But again, so I haven't had any leaking issues out of these. Knock on wood. They're exceedingly comfortable. The sole is very, very forgiving and flexible, so it's not something you're going to wear in the backcountry. It's definitely more of a everyday around the, they call it the city guide or something like that, right? Or no, Guida City Gore-Tex, maybe. Maybe Guida's Italian for guide, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, that makes sense, right? Yeah, but I had no leaking issues. They seem to be holding up pretty good, and they come in, like the price that I paid was half of what these were on Black Friday. So I think these were $280. I think these were in that $140 range. So yeah, even if you pay full retail for these, I feel that they're a better boot than the Crispy. Now granted, the sole's not as beefy, and it doesn't have that stitch down, yada yada. But honestly, I just haven't had a lot of luck out of these holding up. And these guys are cheaper. These are made in Romania. So they're a European-made boot, barely. But I've got no complaints. I've only treated them once, 6 months, every day. I've worn them every day, with the exception of when I went hunting, or maybe when it was really, really hot and I could wear tennis shoes, which is pretty rare because I like my toes. Not that these offer a lot of toe protection, but it's something. I'm not going to wear metatarsal boots around here. That's just nonsense. But yeah, so I would definitely, I'll be getting another pair of these. There's no doubt about it. I like them a lot, and I normally wear, let's see here, just for size purposes. So these are 45.5 euro on both Crispies. I've got one pair of Kinesis that's a 45.5, another pair that's a 46, and then these are 45.5. So I typically rock right in that 12 region. 12. I'm more like a 12.5, but they don't. U.S. sizes, they don't make 12.5. But anyway, that's the gist on these. I really, really like them. I wouldn't be afraid to pick up another pair. There is one like it's got this seam where they stitch the tongue together, and it was like loose from the factory, but I haven't had any issues with it. I thought for sure that would be a point of failure, but it really hasn't. So yeah, I like them a lot.